Anybody who's considering a Siren implementation, I think the first place to start is really looking at your data structures. You don't have to implement a unified data model or unified schema to really take advantage of Siren, because you can map very efficiently between different fields. If Cisco has, SIP for source IP, another one calls it SRCIP, you don't have to worry about those nuances. You can very easily map between them. And essentially what you're building is a unified data model for different indexes and different data sources, but you can use the native schemas that exist in order to create those data models. So I would say the first thing is to, when you start ingesting data into Elastic and you're looking at creating data models, is start to understand relationally how that data works for you as an analyst. When you're running those queries, what kind of pivots and joins were you doing in your head or manually with other capabilities and tools? And to create those relational models in Siren is like the best first place to start. And you can do this very iteratively. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it source by source, an iterative process, and kind of more of a discovery phase of how you like to work with the data. I think it's a new capability for a lot of different analysts out there. The analysts are traditionally working with tools where they input a key selector or run a key query, and they get results back and put it in a spreadsheet, and then they do pivot tables and all these other things. Going from that mentality into a tool where there's a lot more flexibility in the data model, and it's very easy to rapidly iterate on those data structures, is a really new kind of capability for a lot of different users in this field. And so I would just encourage them to start with those schemas, map some fields, get used to this process of, creating those relational structures. And it'll just pay dividends and be a very obvious path forward, if you start small.